and we just wait. That's how we do it. Hey, everybody, what's going on? Aunt Pruitt here. Hope you're doing well. I'm unbelievable as always. And yes, I am adjusting my camera right now because you don't really need to see everything here in Chateau Ghetto. Anyway, welcome to another weekly hangout on there with the smartphone photographers community. We like to call this point and shoot. We get together to talk about some tips and tricks to try to make you a little bit better, heck, for me, a lot better smartphone photographer. Because believe it or not, the cameras on your smartphone, you carry these things around all the daggum time, even to the toilet. Those cameras are pretty daggum good and can take some really nice shots. Just got to know how to, maximize that camera, if you will. But we also do a weekly challenge and talk about how we went about said challenge and critique everyone's submissions in the challenge and pick a winner and then they pick the next challenge. So it's a little fun and competition, but it's also a good learning experience as we go through and critique what everybody shares. And then after that, we just sort of kick back and randomly chit chat, talk smack, and have alcohol usually. But tonight we'll go ahead and introduce the panel that's in here. We'll start with Mr. Michael King. How you doing?
Well, as you can tell on the radar, not very good.
You turned into a radar, man. How'd you do that?
I have it's an app that can be it's both for iOS, Android, and the Mac. It's called Radar Scope.
Well, that
And
doesn't look very good. I hope you're nice and sheltered and safe, brother.
oh yeah, if you see the word spring, we're just go just a little bit to the left side. That's where I am right now, waiting for this mass to come in and. We're under flash flood watches and warnings, all that good stuff. All right, where the heck's my? Here it is.
Batten
Trying
down
to,
the hatches, my man.
I'm trying to turn the screen share off, and
Yeah, let us
Google's
see your
not.
pretty face.
Google's not creating. I mean, it's not cooperating as normal. Thank you, Google.
Yeah, you're better off now. Jeez. Appreciate you coming out, man.
Oh yeah, anytime.
Next up, my man, Robert Knight. How you doing?
Cooler than probably everybody else.
I do.
Barely broke 70 here today. No hate for Google right now, but had to replace power supply, install wireless card, and find the right USB port for my mic to plug into. So it's been a crazy week.
That sounds like just a small detail, man.
Small detail? Nah, not when you leave your computer come home, and it's off, and you power it on, and it turns off within 2 seconds.
Ouch.
Not so good. Not so good. I want to say thank you and thank you for last week hosting the hangout in my absence. I
Ah,
was coming out of Minneapolis at the time of the hangout, and I tried to stream it, and with that wonderful go-go in flight, it's pretty good, but it just couldn't quite keep up with the live feed. So, but thank you again for hosting last week. I appreciate
no
it.
problem as always. Lots of fun.
Next up, my man Mike Olson. Where you been?
I've been busy, man. Life's been busy. But I am good today. I'm in the middle of 4 days off in a row. And though I
How'd you
think,
pull that
Robert, I
off?
probably,
How in the world did you get
well,
four
I don't
days off?
know.
That's not
Well,
right.
when you work for a university, they tend to give you more days off than you can actually burn. So, but Robert, I do think I'm colder than you because I'm north of you in Ann Arbor. If I'm not mistaken, you're in Ohio. So
Yeah,
it's
he's in
awfully
Yes.
Ohio.
chilly. It's awfully chilly here today.
Well, it's good to see you, Mr. Olson. I appreciate you coming out and hanging out with us.
Absolutely.
Now, we have some other members that are going to pop in late as usual. We also call them the Michaels. You know who they are if you've watched previous Hangouts on there with us. But they'll get here when they get here and make their grand entrance. We're going to go ahead and get into the challenge from last week, and it was themed on summer panorama. Um, I'll be honest with you, I was a little skeptical about it. I was like, oh, geez, anybody can go out and shoot a panoramic shot. But when I went in and looked at the shots that were submitted, holy cow. Um, I couldn't do none of this stuff, so I just had a nice big old chunk of crow in my mouth there. I'm going to do a screen share, and we'll go through a few of them and critique them, and look at some of the highlights of them. So let me turn on the screen share real quick, and we put that window there, and we'll start now. So we scroll down. A couple of them that caught my eye. Now, I want to say one of the rules was not motion photography. I think Annette's M8 has a stock motion photography on it. Well, it actually doesn't have stock. It's just whenever it loads to Google, it turns it into a photosphere automatically. Is that right? Does that sound right to you guys? Like the 360 view turns it into a photosphere?
Yeah.
I
Seems
think
like I saw a post saying something like that.
I think that's a mistake on HTC's part with tying it in like that, so that when you're doing a panel shot, it automatically becomes, a 360 Google Sphere shot.
Yeah.
You should actually be able just to do a straight panel. I blame that on the OEM, just for how they integrated it. I think even with the Google camera, you can still do a regular panel shot. I think you can. I do have the app now since I've upgraded to the latest. Well, not the latest, but since I've upgraded to Android 4.42, but I haven't used it yet. But any app should just be able to do your basic 3-pane panel without turning it into a photosphere. If you can't do that, then you're kind of missing out on part of the action that's going on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Too bad. I mean, nice, but still too bad that HTC did that.
The other problem that creates, though, also is that she can't really share that very well outside of Google Plus.
Exactly. Now, I've seen a few times when I've taken a photosphere, it just turns it into a really, really bad panel when I try to share it outside of Google Plus. Have you tried that before?
No, because I've only done 2 photospheres. They both sucked. It was early. Stitching didn't go very well. I like the technology. Thinking about, say, for instance, if you're in real estate and you're going to sell a house or something, and you wanted to be able to give a person from a remote location a full view of a room, you could do a photosphere of the entire room, and they could, easily look at it.
Yeah.
It's basically a technology that's been around for a while. Google just made it a little bit simpler to put it in everybody's hands.
Mm-hmm. We just had Mr. Sweeney pop in. As I said, D. Michaels will be showing up. What's going on, man?
Just another day in paradise, 95 and sunny.
95 and sunny. He's still as cool as a cucumber as always.
Ed, where are you located?
I am in right outside of Charlotte, North Carolina.
Okay.
Yeah, we're gonna get hit.
So
it just got upgraded to a Cat
2.
Yeah,
Cat
we're
2.
gonna get hit here with a big storm.
Yeah. The winds are now 100 miles an hour. They're saying, I'm looking at the since I'm in insurance, I can get to look at the things right from the Hurricane Center.
Yeah,
they're anticipating it now to get up to 105 by landfall.
Oh, lovely.
Wow.
I'll deal with it. It's been freaking hot here. I can take some extra wind and rain, even if it is 200 miles an hour at this point.
Now, I got a question for you guys when I hear you talking about the Google, photosphere crap.
Yeah.
Has anyone other than me played with the Microsoft PhotoSynth?
What's his name? Did Patrick Holmquist? He has talked about it in previous hangouts.
Yeah, because that's actually not a bad app. It works pretty well.
No, it isn't.
It was pretty, but wasn't it pretty resource heavy? You better have a decent machine if you want to try to run it.
I started using it on my 4, and then went to a 4S, and it's on my 5S now. I mean, it wasn't bad, even on the 4. It took a while to stitch it all together when it was done, but it didn't really impact the quality.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I remember him talking about that several months ago. I never played around with it though.
Now, to be honest, full disclosure, it will give you a nice pano, but if you want the full photosphere effect, you have to host it off their site.
And of course.
But it will let you give it will let you give a full pano. You can print it out, crop it, do whatever you want.
Nice. and give you all the proper DPI and so forth.
Exactly.
Nice, very nice. Now this one here is from a man out in the desert. I had to pick on him a little bit, Mr. McCusker. Um, typical, typical desert shot. I like the, the the horizon here with the up and down mountain range there. I'm wondering where the heck he was to take this, and why is he out there on purpose? This
Huh.
does not look somewhere
It looks a
comfortable.
lot like what I did in Zion when I went through there on vacation.
That does not look like somewhere comfortable to be. It just does.
Oh yeah, it is. It's great. You go there at the right time of year. Desert's actually really quite comfortable.
I don't know, man. I'll just have to take your word for it.
Oh, you're gonna take my word for something?
Yeah, just this once, anyway. Now, I want to highlight my man Robert here. Um, I think I asked you earlier inside of this post here if you use a wide angle lens. Did I? I don't remember.
Yeah.
I'm a freak.
Nope. I
You did
tried.
not use it. You did try though?
I tried a shot with it, but the problem was I got my lens dirty.
Oh,
Oh.
Fail.
you're not gonna get any sympathy here.
It was 98% humidity
Yeah.
and upper 90 degrees that day.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm standing there, and all this water. I took the lens out. I put it on the phone on a tripod,
Laughing at Michael.
and the first thing that happened was it fogged up.
Dang, man.
Let it bounce out so that it would, so the fog would go away. Then I noticed there was a little bit of debris on it. Took my microfiber cloth to kind of wipe it, and it just got worse.
Dang, man.
With
You didn't
sweat
have
on my
a
hands
brush?
and everything, I said, forget it. I took the shot, but I was like, I wasn't happy with it. So I just went non lens, just regular photo.
Right.
I like
Now,
that one.
damn it, I gotta quit clicking that.
You
My
do.
only issue on this one is the cutoff right here. I'm a
That
little
was purposeful.
curious. I'm a little curious.
Actually, I would reverse it. My gripe is the cut at the bottom.
Now here, right there.
If he could have gotten a complete V at the bottom, that would have been just so awesome.
Mm-hmm. Quite nice, man. Now, what else would you guys do different? Okay, Sweeney says that the V there. What about you, Mr. Olson? Anything different with the shot?
I think it's a beautiful shot, actually. I wouldn't touch it at all, to be honest with you.
Hey, I don't want to see Robert slipping you that 20. Yeah.
Yeah, we know that's coming. $20 handshake. What about you, Mr. King?
That's true.
Really? I agree with the other Michael that I would just leave it alone. It's perfect.
Mm-hmm. Quite nice. Damn it! Why is that doing that? I didn't click there that time. Okay.
Google.
Since I asked about the wide-angle lens, we have a professional here. Put the camera right on him, Sweeney.
What?
Wide-angle lens. What exactly is the purpose or use case for a wide-angle lens in smartphone photography?
Well, I can tell you what I use mine for.
Okay.
It doesn't necessarily fit what the little press release blurb is all about. So the press release blurb for a wide angle lens is basically to get a wider view of whatever it is you're shooting at. Now, let's be frank, the average smartphone's already got a pretty wide view to start with.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's more than a normal lens on a DSLR. So I'm not convinced that really brings much to the table. I mean, when I use a wide angle on my iPhone versus the normal lens, there's very little difference between the pictures. However, what the wide angle does let me do is do a macro and kind of a middle ground. So my macro lens means I'm about an inch or so away from my subject.
Mm-hmm.
The normal lens won't focus any closer than maybe about 3 inches or so.
Maybe
The wide angle
4.
lens will actually let me sit right in that middle ground of about 2 inches away from a subject and get a nice clear macro. That's what I end up using mine most of the time for.
Now, so with that, As far as a macro shot, don't you have those microscopic lenses too? Now, you prefer that over the microscopic lens?
Depends what I'm shooting. Sometimes I just want to be close. I don't necessarily want to be up the ant's butt, you know.
Okay. Well said, sir.
The shot here that I took while on vacation. It'll kind of show what Michael is referring to.
Okay.
Just a moment.
You got a sample there? I can dig one
Yeah.
up, but
I've got one. I'm almost at it now.
I mean that's the running issue with macro lenses in general is you're expected to be so close on your subject that the depth of field is really tiny, and you're really close up. And if you want to pull back at all, you just don't have the depth of field to do it. It won't focus. So I end up using my wide angle because the depth of field is like 2 inches to infinity, and it gives me a little more room to maneuver.
On this shot, I used my wide angle lens, and this is probably one of the best shots I've taken with it.
Mm-hmm.
Sweet, yeah, you got focus all the way from the beginning up to the horizon.
Right.
It's perfect.
Now, when I tried the same thing on that, I'll show you the picture of that from that
Let me see.
Hoover Dam that I chunked. I didn't chunk it. I just didn't use it.
Right.
I might have chunked it actually because I was not happy with. Here it is.
I gotta find my.
Got it?
Now that's with the wide angle lens,
Oh, okay.
and I wasn't happy with it. There was some distortion and stuff that was in there that editing just could not give me what I wanted from it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And then also noticed when I took the picture, because I looked at it right on the phone after I took it, I noticed immediately the degrading of the color.
Mm-hmm.
Because the sky wasn't as blue or anything, so you're dealing with a bunch of different things. So I took the shot, but there was nothing I could do to really save it, as compared to this shot without any lens on at all. Because you can see the color difference there.
Oh, big time.
And this was all with stock camera?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean the quality of these aftermarket lenses vary wildly, and some distort really bad across the board. Some are only good in the center, as you just heard. Sometimes you lose your color and your contrast. So the best advice is try it before you buy it.
Yeah, if possible. All right.
If possible. And let's be realistic about this. You're not going to get a high quality piece of glass as a lens for $10. It's not going to happen.
All right.
I mean,
That's
half
not
the time.
necessary, yeah.
I mean, half the time these smartphone lenses are just a lens that they bought from Edmund Scientific or someplace like that, and they threw a little bit of a case around it and said, "There you go, one lens, bam." Now I've seen some really high quality stuff, but it's coming from a lens that's being custom manufactured. It's about, I don't know, maybe 1.5 inches in diameter, and it's costing about $100. But it is a fully engineered lens to work with the iPhone. But the pictures look spectacular.
But as they say, you get what you pay for. If you pay for $100 for
That's
a good
right.
lens, you're gonna get a good lens. If you pay $10 for one, you're gonna you're gonna have a 50-50 crapshoot.
Well,
Now, a lot of people use the combination lenses.
yeah.
Mine are the ones I have are all whole lenses, so I don't have a combination lens. So this one here is my wide angle.
Yep.
And it's a full wide angle lens, so all one solid piece. A lot of them for the macro, you'll have the macro where you screw it off and then
Screw it on, yeah. That's the way mine works.
I haven't gotten the macro yet. I'm going to buy the macro of the same make, but it's like $30 or so. I haven't had need for it just yet. And this is my fisheye, which is a whole separate lens itself. Now the other thing
about that fisheye.
another thing about these lenses when you use them with a smartphone is one of the reasons you have some distortion is because you have to zoom in to get away from the barrel effect. Unless you're willing to work with the barrel effect and use it to your advantage. That's one of the things I found with the wide angle.
I've done that, but I find it to be a unique situation to be able to use it effectively.
I always just crop out the barrel distortion. When I take a picture, I know it's going to be there, and I plan my shot accordingly, so I can just crop it out of existence.
But you're already a strong 16:9 crop guy anyway.
Well, yeah, but if you pay attention to most of my shots, it's the one thing I do every time. For the majority, I crop everything just enough to get that barrel distortion out, and then run from there with whatever other crop I'm going to do.
So the problem with a wide angle is you're trying to get so much field. When you zoom, if you crop out the barrel, what are you really photographing? So that's the problem. If you want the whole field, when you zoom in, you're going to lose something. You're going to get that distortion.
Well, I'm going to throw things the other way. So when I was doing my book the first time, I wanted to do a telephoto lens, and telephoto lenses for the iPhone are few and far between. There's some technical issues for that, but I got to thinking about it, and I came up with this. So this is actually the old spotting scope that came off my little Meade telescope. And it turns out, if you take your iPhone, like so, and put it like that, you now have a telephoto. Now I'll be damned if the thing doesn't work half bad.
That's what's up. Yeah. Life hack.
And one reason it works is, you can't see it, but there's actually two elements in this. So this is a rather high quality piece of engineering. This is not a $10 lens.
Right.
It's two pieces of glass that were custom engineered.
Very nice. By the way, welcome to Mr. Michael Portis of Black on the Mac.
Hello, everyone.
Appreciate you showing up in here, bro. Now, and then King Snow's on him.
Just feel the love in the air.
Yes.
Dude, it's always a special thing when you come into the room.
Let me share the screen again. I want to look at another one from Mr. Shanty Minister. All right, you guys see it okay?
Yeah.
Yep.
Crash.
There we go. All right, so here's his shot here. Details. I think he's an iPhone guy. Yep, he's a 5S guy.
Now, I wasn't sure if that was a panel or not.
That was my question.
It's not.
I wanted to get the answer from the community. All right, so what is a panoramic shot? Let's start with King. Okay, go ahead, Sweeney.
So this looks like a typical 4x3. It might be a tad wider, but I'm not going to consider it a pano until I see like a 16:9 crop applied to something, or I know, Michael. But you want that long horizontal line. You want the long picture, and this doesn't quite have the length in my book to call it a pano.
Sort of 4x3, sort of squared off.
Yes.
So I was curious because I was
wondering if what's the actual definition?
Be some type of interpretation.
A sweeping, wide, extensive, commanding view. Well, you're not going to get sweeping out of a 4x3.
No.
Nope.
All right, but that was his shot. It's a nice shot, but I didn't think it fit. No. As far as
now he may argue the point. There's no way to really tell, but he may argue the point saying, "Well, I shot it in pano mode." Okay, that's nice.
Yeah.
All that means is the phone is taking multiple pictures and stitching them. It doesn't necessarily mean you're going to get a pano if you only do this much.
Now, had he cropped maybe from there down, from the top down to about here.
Yep.
That wide angle.
He would have gotten that long aspect, and then you would be talking to pano.
But don't get me wrong, Shanty. This is a nice shot. I mean, you got this thing lined up and framed, in my opinion, quite nicely.
Yep.
But It's just not
I
a
do have a question for the iPhone users. When you're shooting in your panel mode, can you
Yep.
stop mid shift and force a shot?
Yes.
No.
No.
You can
No.
stop mid, but then you have to restart.
Okay. So, because
So like if I'm shooting pano, I can pause, I can stop it,
Stop it.
but the picture's done right there. I can't add to it after that.
Okay, yeah. You're
Okay.
right.
So,
sounds
like,
like Android.
when I'm shooting panel, when I shot mine, I shot one shot, then followed the square. It got to the next, what would have been a full frame, took another shot, followed over to the next frame, did another shot now. So, can you guys go like half frame?
No, not with the iOS app. There's apps that are third party that will do it, but in iOS, you basically slide it over to pano, and
Right.
it shows you a skinny bar across the screen with an arrow pointing the direction to pan the camera,
Okay.
and you just go. And there's no sensation, there's no visualization of frame by frame. You just go. And if you go too fast, it'll tell you slow down, and if you go up or down too far, it'll tell you get back on track. You're off center.
Okay.
But it's very simple. Yeah, there you go. Can you get that up there, Mike? Yeah. That's it. That's all you can do. Now, there's third-party apps that are a lot more flexible.
Okay.
But even in iOS 8, they didn't change it that much for the pano stuff.
Okay. I was just wondering if there was a way that you guys could stop mid-frame, snap, then keep going, snap.
Unfortunately, no.
No. And, yeah.
Go ahead, Mike.
I'm resisting the call out Apple engineers for being idiots on iOS 8, but that's okay.
Oh, that was resisting.
Go ahead. Say that.
Mike, they're not
We've
idiots.
called-
Mike,
They're
they're not
bending to the
idiots.
masses.
No, this is really bad.
They're not
Mike.
idiots. They're morons.
Mike, can you put up you got iOS 8 on that, on your
On
phone?
this one? No.
Okay, yeah, mine's downstairs with iOS 8.
Yeah.
So, anyways, imagine, if you will, when you're looking at the screen, you got the square target,
Oh, yeah.
in the middle, and typically you would tap it and you could change, you lock your focus and all that. So what iOS has done is they said, okay, you can adjust your exposure now. Now, notice they didn't say you could set your exposure, you can
Yeah, you can
adjust it.
adjust it.
So what they've done is they've added a vertical bar right next to the square box, and you have to tap, hold, and slide it up and down. And what it does is it will adjust the overall exposure of the image.
Not
Problem
the
number one.
pinpoint.
Problem number one, when you turn the phone sideways and you do that, now it wants to swipe mode, whether you're going from square to pano or to a normal picture. And if you don't hold it just right,
What the hell?
you screw yourself.
Oh wow. That's,
I mean,
Okay, wait.
it's
Let
an
me say
absolute
something.
bullshit design.
Okay,
that's
wait.
the engineer in there.
Okay, wait. No, wait. Apple, I got you on
Where's
this
the
one.
fanboy here who's going to
Okay.
defend him?
There is, I tell my clients this all the time. There is cutting edge technology and there is bleeding edge technology. Anybody
Yeah,
willing to
I
use
bled the other
iOS
day
8
for that.
is on the bleeding edge of technology. It's not a finished product. It's some little things like that where they
Little?
clearly know that's you. Okay. It's just
Joe,
a sense.
Listen.
It's a sensor thing.
Jobs
No,
would have
look-
found the engineer that okayed that and designed it and castrated him. You know, I
Yeah,
mean, it's just a bogus user interface.
Yeah, it's let's just put it's iOS 8 in all honesty is the fine F it, you can have what you've asked for release. I don't really think that there's anything innovative in it at all.
Not that I've seen so far.
And
Nope,
there's
there isn't.
nothing there's not a drop of innovation in iOS 8. It's all about getting to whatever they're pushing towards next and giving people all the things that they've always said, well, Android can do this. It's Android can do this release of iOS.
Me too, Steph.
Yeah, that's just Jobs would crucify these guys.
And
He really would.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's a
Yes.
lazy man's push. It's the lazy man's push.
I like that.
Yeah.
That sums it up.
Basically, it's follow the. I said, oh, we're playing catch up. We better do something to catch up again.
It's not catch up. It's
It's not even ketchup.
It's not ketchup. It's it's
I think
it's
it's me too.
it really is Android can do that. Release. It's everything that people say, well, Android does this.
Right.
That's why I don't have an iPhone. It's all of that crap that I don't use an iPhone for. I don't care.
And
I can do like this.
And that actually brings up a really interesting point I made to somebody talking about iOS 8 and the photography realm. I'm not talking about the rest of it, but one of the strengths of the iPhone with the soccer moms is the fact that they pull out their phone, they turn it on, they shoot, done. As soon as you give them more options they have to deal with, it's no longer a point and shoot as far as they're concerned. It's just like everybody else's phone. It's become a pain in the ass to use, and they won't use it.
But I said that about iOS in general, just from a telephone standpoint. There's been many times people would ask me, well, what new smartphone should I go out and get? And I look at that person straight in the eye and do my little 2-minute analysis of them and prejudge them and say, you know what? You are a simplified person that just wants the phone to be a phone. I suggest an iPhone, because it's got that home button. It's going to bail them out of all of the trouble that they're going to try to get themselves.
Absolutely. I mean, you really do have to look at who's asking the question when you suggest something like this. I mean, the iPhone's greatest strength is the fact it's been the same look and feel throughout 4 or 5 generations now. And
there's
the
not 15
apps are
different ways to do the same shit.
They always work the same way, more or less.
Yeah.
The carriers aren't allowed to mess with, skinning the phone and putting crapware on it.
Right.
Yeah.
So do you feel they're moving away from that?
They are. Apple's moving away from that, and it's becoming more crapware.
No, I don't think Apple. I think Apple's moving away from the phone itself. It's weird. I think they're moving more towards not having to have the device. The device
is immaterial.
Yeah, the devices. I think that's what they're moving away from. I think they're really trying to make everything work. And everything seems seamless, and it doesn't matter what you're on, and and everything works exactly the same. Well, stuff gets sacrificed when you do that, and I think we're starting to see the iPhone.
What happens though is you go from excellence to average.
Yeah.
I mean, if I want average, I can go buy an HTC. If I want excellence, I'll pick an iPhone or something like that. I don't want to pay Apple's price for an average phone.
Average phone, exactly. And I don't want an average camera in that average phone.
Amen.
Because I will take an average phone with an excellent camera.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
I agree. All right, let me look
See, even fanboys have limits.
Yeah, I'm surprised. I am surprised. He finally came around, folks. Mr. King came around a couple episodes back. That made me proud. And now Portis has come around, boy.
Yeah, but see, I've always been
probably why that big ass storm is coming my way now.
And also,
that storm's Apple's revenge.
And here's the other thing I don't like. I want my computer, my desktop, to be a desktop. I don't want my desktop to be an iPad or anything like that.
Yeah.
And I want a desktop operating system that is totally different from a mobile operating system. Now I say mobile, iPad, iPhone, are those. And that's what drives me crazy, that we want, no matter what you're on, we want it to be the same thing. Microsoft is following that.
I don't know if they're going to do the same thing, but they certainly want it to be seamless.
It'll be damn close.
Yeah.
Right. And Microsoft is doing the exact same thing with Windows 8.
No, because Windows 9, they're bringing back the desktop and all the little buttons we all like.
Oh, good.
Okay.
They've caught so much flack over that crap design they have.
That'll be nice. Let me get my screen back up. And we'll look at 2 more shots here from the challenge.
Yeah, now we've solved the world's problems.
All right, let's.
You got to admit that having a bitching about the focusing and exposure on an iPhone is really a first world problem.
No comment. No comment. I want to take a look at this shot here from Nicole.
I like that shot.
Up in Michigan.
Yes.
This one is a very, 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 very close second place.
I don't know why he didn't get first, but I really
Man.
like it.
I kind of like the winners just a little bit better. Not much. It's so
Yeah.
close.
We agree to disagree.
We, Nicole, she's a fairly new community member, but she came in. I remember the first one she posted into the community. It was this waterfall in Michigan, and it just wowed the hell out of everybody. And she's just continuing to pull out shots like this, even while
is
she's getting
gorgeous.
dirty at her limestone. What is it? A granary she works at?
Quarry.
Quarry.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
Quarry.
It's, man, and I think she's an S5. Yep, she's using S5 on this one, Pixlr Express. That seems to be one of her top two editors. That one as well as Snapseed. I've noticed that a lot. Now, Handy Photo. I remember.
I'm not familiar with that one.
Mentioning Handy Photo. You guys ever played with that?
No.
Never used it.
I think it's an
remember hearing
Android only.
Yeah, I heard about that. I remember hearing about that. I guess maybe last year sometime.
I think next week I'll have to become introduced to it. I got an S5 showing up next week.
Nice. All
Yeah.
right. I'm curious to see your take on it because I mean I know you have a certain approach and we've
Yep.
already talked about.
We'll see. We'll see how my style fits with it.
Right. But I want to give Nicole props and I hope she's watching. She wanted to try to watch tonight from work. If you are, hello Nicole and hell of a shot.
Hello, Nicole. Damn nice picture.
Criticisms.
It's
Let's go
beautiful.
through and
I have one.
give it anything that you want to give it. We'll start. We'll come to you last, Sweeney.
Oh!
Yeah, we're gonna.
You don't want me polluting the waters, in my
Yeah.
opinion. All right.
We'll build her up first, and then we'll bruise her. Okay. Let's go to Mr. Olson. Anything you'd like to do differently on this shot, or anything? What do you like about it, Mr. Olson? Mr. Olson, paging like Olson.
Can you hear me?
Thank you for
Now we hear you. There you
There
are.
we hear you.
Okay, yeah, Chromebook, what can I say?
You said enough right
Yeah,
there.
Right there.
Works for me. You ain't going there. I love mine. But go ahead.
Um,
What do you like about this shot, and is there anything you would have done differently with it?
no, I like it that it's from Michigan, first of all, because that's where I'm from. And really, the first thing I thought of, just was seriously because I live here, I'm like, all right, where is that? Because I want to go see that.
Right.
But yeah, so again, no criticism for me.
Nice. Mr. King. Oh, Mr. King stepped away. Mr. Portis.
Let me go back to it because let me look at that again. You know what?
He's thinking too hard.
You know what? I don't mind it. I don't necessarily like the darkness of the corners of the trees.
What do you know?
But other than that, no. There's just no detail there. That's what I mean.
There's
There's
too
no
much
detail.
contrast ratio there.
Yes, there's
But
no.
that's not the subject.
There's no. I know,
The
but I like
subject's
to.
the lake and sky.
I know the
This
overall
is what we're talking
picture.
about now. Hold on.
I like the overall photo. I do like the colors in the sky. I think she did an excellent job capturing those. They're not blown out. Like, I would think that the white in the cloud, right, kind of a little off-centered, would be blown out, but she does a great job with whatever color correction she did to make sure that that white stays white, but not blown out. This is a really pretty shot. I like the reflection in it. That's the very first thing that I caught my eye.
Oops, I clicked off it again. Dadgummit.
Doing
Okay.
And what the heck are you doing?
I did the exact same thing.
There. I swear, I just activate the window and it flips. Anyway, sorry about that.
Google.
That's
Thank
it.
you, Mr. Portis. Mr. King, since you chiming in.
Hang on just a sec.
Oh,
I
it's
had
on
to come back to the
screen.
screen. Okay. I tell you, as I said, it was so close to the winner that I voted for it, and I really thought it was just excellently done. I love the vibrance of the color, the reflections of everything, and I don't really.
There's no-
Okay.
oh,
Well,
sorry.
we know that.
I have to start doing alt tab, I
But I
guess.
just tell you, it just is well done as far as I'm concerned. I know a certain person's probably going to pick it apart, but I think it's done. I think it's done really good.
Oh, man, all this judging's getting on me. You know?
No, I think he's gonna say it's a well done shot. Honestly, I think he's gonna like it.
All right, Mr. Knight.
Very well done shot. I love the way she signed it.
Signed it.
Yes, she signed it. Don't you see her signature?
What, the reflections?
No, you don't see her signature?
Uh-uh.
Look at the post.
Oh, you got to zoom in on that, huh?
I didn't have to, but it's there.
Oh, it is.
Damn,
Oh
sure
yeah.
Sure is right there.
Very creative. Doesn't obstruct from the view at all. If you're not even really paying attention to it, you don't notice
Well
it.
freaking done.
Now, just
Um,
do me a favor, Ant. Leave that crop right there where you had it. Little to the left. Right
Better
there.
photo. Better
Right
photo.
there. Better
Better
photo
photo.
right there.
Better photo.
You know, I agree. I agree.
There's a reason. There's a reason why I'm critical.
I totally agree. That right there versus that.
Yep.
Both are good, but that is better.
The
Right
cropped
there.
one's better.
you know,
But it's-
the only,
But it makes it less of a pano if you.
And you know what? She could still pull off the panel by trimming up the greenery a little bit.
Right
Right.
there.
the
But-
only
But-
thing I saw, and it's a limitation of the ability of the camera itself once you start editing, is if you look at the sky, when she started applying her edits, it gets a little grainy. Right.
That's why you drop it into a desktop to do your editing.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, right into the very back along the left side. If you follow the pole and go to the very back to those clouds, just
Right there.
just a little grainy, but that's about it.
So, Ant, can I talk now?
Okay, you may proceed. Brace yourself.
Can I?
What you got? Go ahead. I'm curious.
All right. So I want to draw your attention to what clued me in about the cropping.
Okay.
We got the tree on the right-hand side there, and that tree was just bugging the crap out of me.
Okay.
And I was thinking, you know, what I've done in the past is I've actually shopped out stuff like that because I consider it a distraction.
Uh-huh.
But I really liked the silhouette of how the tree was against the background. And it dawned on me that if you just chopped off that left or the right end right there, and now you're using the tree as part of the framing
Like
of
a
the picture.
frame. Like a frame.
Now you get that gorgeous silhouette of the tree. I'd go a little further, Ant.
Right about there.
Right there. You
Maybe
got all
a-
your water. You got the reflections. You've got and this is a little subtle, and you can't see me reaching for the screen. But your eye will naturally want to go from left to right because it wants to go to the brightest point on the picture. So you're going to go from the blue sky, and it's going to follow it right to that bright sky, right where the tree's at, right where the lake and reflections are at. Bingo.
And we draw our little grid here. Right about there.
Mhm.
Intersection.
Right in there. That's where your eye is going to naturally want to settle because it's the bright spot of the picture.
Yep.
And with the horizontal line of the lake and the clouds, how they go from wispy to darker, your eye is going to naturally want to follow that line. And that tree provides a stop. It's a visual stop. That it's a clue that your brain goes, oh, I'm where I need to be.
Now this is framing it in there. Quite nice. Very nice. Let's say welcome to Mr. Richard Orth. What's going on, man? Can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right, and we hear
Yeah,
you.
My final comment to Nicole about this
Yep, go ahead.
is this is what I would consider a saleable picture.
Mhm.
You could put this up on any of the art sites and sell it and
Yeah.
probably do pretty well with it.
Yes.
She's really been knocking it out of the park here recently. Quite impressive. Mr. Orth, this is your first time in a hangout, right?
I think I've watched one.
Mm-hmm.
while it was in progress, but I don't think I joined in.
Yeah, it's not the same as getting verbal abuse live in an
Oh yeah, get live.
It's
Oh,
much.
we don't abuse people that much.
Yeah, okay. We don't use Apple products either.
Well, with you joining in, this is your opportunity to share your insight on Nicole's shot. So anything you like, dislike, or what would you do differently with Nicole's shot, if anything?
Boy, nothing like
I
putting a
did-
new guy on the spot.
Oh, yeah, I'm talking about roasting them.
Jump in the fire.
I just take issue with stuff that's been over processed. You know, is the orange of the sun set back there? Is it really that orange, or was it saturated up to? Yeah, was it manipulated to bring that? It almost looks like it was manipulated because of the way the blues don't just fade together. They tend to pixelate right where your arrow is at.
Yep.
And you know, when you overprocess some things, the way you can almost see the pixels pop out and it almost layers. That's when I start to not like it.
Have to be careful. There's a fine line.
Yeah.
Fine line.
But that's about the only thing I don't like about the picture. Other than that, it's a great composition. I don't know about it. You know, her horizon line is it's right dead center, almost. It may be a little off center, but it's
pretty close center, yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty close center. I took a picture. The picture that I posted was one of two, and the second one that I didn't post actually broke into thirds. The sky was the top third, and then the green was the bottom third.
Nice.
And I thought that was it was serendipitous that it worked out that way. But at the same time, I was not trying to go for a lot of sky, which would have been the thing to do. Instead, I got a lot of the wetlands that is on the bottom.
Now, let me ask you something. When one of the ways I tend to shoot really loose nowadays with the intent of cropping it in post.
Right.
I've gotten burned in the past by cropping in camera and then wishing I'd had another 6 inches or better. You know, do you shoot loose or do you crop in the camera?
A lot of times you don't have a choice, especially with point and shoot. You don't have a clue. So you get too much or too little.
You can zoom.
I haven't figured out how to do that on my. I have the iPhone 5 with 7.1.
Well, it's like Kappa said. If it's not a good picture, you're not close enough. So move your feet.
Yeah, I tried that with the get on the ground one, and I could never get the thing I wanted focused to get in focus. Everything else would be in focus around it, except for that one little thing.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it moved or what, but I could never get that one thing. The really interesting. It was, I don't know what it was. It looked like something laid eggs on a blade of grass. And that's what I was trying to get was the little eggshells that were stuck to the grass, and I could just never get them.
I've heard that Sweeney adage several times here.
Which one?
Your zoom, your best zoom is your feet.
Yeah,
straight.
But yeah, I tend to like to do as much in camera as I can. Trying to get exposures right, trying to get the framing right. I don't want to get something that I'm too far left on, or too far right, or too high, or too low.
This is great because I'm like at the other end of this. Because I'll intentionally look at a scene and I'll have something in my head that I want for a final output, and I will shoot the picture to get that final output, even if it means going into Photoshop and editing the hell out of it.
Right.
And if you look at the picture on camera, it's going to look like crap because it's not a finished product.
Right.
I don't care. I want the finished product. I don't care what it looks like in camera. I want the end product, and that offends a lot of the purists. But
Of course it does.
I shoot with an iPhone, so that right there offends a lot of the purists.
Richard, you said you on a 5S, you say?
No, just a 5.
Or just a 5? Okay. Running
Now,
7.1.
Did you move up
Yeah,
from a
7.
4 or S, Richard, or did you
No,
go right to?
I moved from an original iPhone to the 5.
Ooh,
Holy
that was a jump.
Nice.
Yeah,
Jump.
and technically, I hate the 5.
Really?
I just don't like. Well, because they broke. It used to be just the general operating system.
Now we're back to those bastard engineers.
Yeah, it used to be if you wanted media, you went to iTunes. It had your videos, it had your songs, it had
Right.
everything,
It's all
podcasts, all that
Yeah.
stuff. Now everything's broken out into various apps. I just hate that.
Yeah, it drives my car crazy when I try to play music.
Yeah.
Wait till you see the new iTunes.
That's okay.
Yeah, wait till you see the new iTunes. Is right. Holy moly.
Yeah, it's iTunes.
Grab one of Lloyd's phones.
Hey,
Said Lloyd's.
Yes, because he shot his with the Windows phone. We don't
yeah.
get
We got a Windows Phone?
Yep,
the
right here.
other operating system.
Yeah. I have a Windows phone. The 7, whatever the last 7 was, 7.2. I think it's 7.2.
I'm told that the Windows phones actually work pretty well.
I like the photography on the Windows phone.
The phone ain't that bad. I have a few colleagues that have Windows Phone 7 Mango 7.2, and
Yeah.
it has 8, and it's a decent phone. The OS is fairly fluid,
Okay.
but it's not necessarily for hackers. It's another one of those.
Again, it comes down to what you want to do with it.
Exactly. But
Yeah.
It's not bad. But the camera, as you can see here from Lloyd, the cameras have been freaking nice on these things.
That's a nice piano.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's got kind of an interesting barrel roll to it.
I really like that, Lloyd. And that's in, I cannot pronounce where that is. Can you guys pronounce that?
Curacao?
Curacao? Where the hell is that?
It's,
I don't get out much if y'all haven't figured this out yet.
it's a Caribbean island.
Don't they have a liquor after that name?
It's a spice.
It's a spice?
Yeah.
Yes, I know nothing. I get all my learning from you guys. Come on.
Oh, that's frightening.
But no, that's with his Windows phone, Lumia 920. Lumia 920. And Lloyd is a local member here in the Charlotte area.
It's Dutch, believe it or not.
It's off the Venezuelan coast, and that forms part of the Dutch Caribbean.
Okay.
Who knew?
Never would have guessed it. I'll probably never go there, but damn it, that's a nice shot. Thank you for taking us there.
I love the water. Looks gorgeous.
Yeah. I think that's another good
You
one.
guys would have tried it done differently with this shot?
Maybe a level horizon.
Uh-huh. Yeah, it sort of leans a little bit.
Yeah, I think the water is all going to run out on the left-hand side there.
I think that is the problem with the Lumina, the 920, is that it has a tendency when you do a panel on it, it wants to.
It kind of does this bow look to it.
Yes, that's.
Oh,
If you notice the other side, it does the same way. It's going down the other way.
That would drive me insane.
interesting.
And that's why I used the tripod when I shot mine.
But all right, so it's bowing up here from what you can tell, but down there it doesn't really look like it's bowed out.
Because there's no straight horizon line, that's why.
Right. And if you look at the other side, on the by the mountains, you notice they kind of bow down, going down. They're going down.
Not as much, only because I don't think he went as far. Yeah.
That side, yeah.
But that is a problem with the lens and everything on the 920. They have a little more trouble, if I understand, with panos. They want to bow a little bit on the off in the distance.
Okay.
I don't know. I kind of like the bow in this because it almost brings up the curvature of the Earth. like you're really far away, and you're seeing actually the curvature of the Earth at that point.
And I get that, Richard, but there's too much detail in that for me to believe that whole curvature thing. That's just my brain, though. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, if it was trees and stuff like that off in the distance, yes, but the water, it's like an infinity pool.
Exactly.
The water's just going right off the edge.
Maybe if it was balanced on both sides, but that bow is uneven.
Yeah.
Very nice. All right, so let's look at our winner here, Mr. Brady, Mr. Steve Brady.
Now, I have to say, for the record, if I had gotten in and voted when I wanted to, we would have had a tie.
All right, woulda, shoulda.
Well, hey, I'm glad, because then we have a definitive winner, and then we don't have to, somebody has to go take away a vote, because I would have voted for the pawn shot we looked at earlier on.
Nicole's?
For Nicole's shot, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, guess what? I didn't vote for this one, so I'll go first and tell you why I did.
Let's go ahead. Go ahead.
I didn't vote for this one because of the water.
All right. Why?
When I looked at the water,
Weird
and I
looking.
looked at on my large screen, not on my phone, but on my large screen, on the right side, it got blocky. And it didn't look smooth, like wavy smooth to me. And I believe that happened because he's taking the picture and he's the motion of the boat itself.
Uh-huh.
So because of
What did he shoot this with, Ant?
This is with the, I think it was the S4.
Samsung.
Oh,
yeah,
shoot,
that's S4.
Interesting. All right.
So because of that, and I don't know if maybe he shot in HDR. I'm not sure because it doesn't. The phone's self app doesn't label it HDR when you shoot in HDR. It just straight labels it. But just that if he did do HDR, that would explain that those rectangular blocks in the left side there.
Well, it's not
right
just.
side. So I kind of.
It starts from the tip of the boat and goes all the way to the right.
Yep.
And to me, that caught my eye immediately when I started kind of looking around. When I looked the photo and I panned my way across, and that was the reason I didn't vote for it. You pointed out about the shoreline. The shoreline I kind of be forgiving on because of the point of view, but that choppiness of the water, the pixelation, Instead, I gave my vote to Nicole.
See, it doesn't look pixelated to me. It just looks like ripples that I see every day at our lake.
Super Mario Brothers hit a block.
Yes, it is, and it's in the clouds also. The clouds in the right-hand side. It's in there also.
It is, yeah. Yeah,
A
you're
little
right.
bit, yeah.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I didn't notice that.
If you go up just a little bit higher, right? No, go up. Now go to your left.
Right there. Look at that.
Yeah, right there.
Didn't notice that. Good eye. Good eye.
But otherwise, when he took it and, from the boat itself, beautiful. I actually do like how the boat kind of pokes out in there.
That's what I liked about it.
Very, very neat. But that's why I didn't give it my vote, as compared to, say, Nicole's photo, where when I found the pixelization in it was more far off, kind of less noticeable up in the sky part. But this just sort of really caught my eye immediately.
Interesting. What about you, Mr. Olson?
Yeah, I mean, I agree. It's a beautiful picture, but when I look at it, because of that pixelation, the first thing I think is it's stitched together. And I mean, I know these are stitched together, but that's sort of the first thing that popped in my mind.
Yeah, you don't want to see that it's stitched together.
Right. I mean, it's a beautiful picture, but that pixelation kind of makes me go, oh, it's a beautifully stitched together picture.
Nice. Mr. Orth?
Yeah, I just brought it up. I don't know. It's just too much sky and water.
Mm-hmm.
There's not enough interest in it. There's nothing that particularly yes, the point of the boat is pointing me at something, but it's not apparent what it's pointing at. And to a certain extent, it's a well exposed shot because you are getting those ripples and they are picking up the clouds.
Yeah.
I'm just old school enough to know I took enough shots of my car just after I waxed it, and you could see the reflection in the wax of the car, which was always a sign that you got the exposure right. But to me, it's a nice photograph, but it's not interesting.
All right, King.
Yeah, I didn't really catch the all the pixelation until
I didn't either until just now. I didn't notice it.
And boy, on a Retina screen, it really shows up. Because I just zoomed in. Oh man, is it bad? I voted for it, but I didn't catch that right at first. There.
I'm still keeping my vote on it though. He's still our winner. He's still our winner. All right.
You know what?
Yeah, it's a pretty shot. I think we've said that to death. I mean, it's a very pretty shot, and it's well done. Very creative. Way to get out there and get dirty.
Yeah.
I don't think you can get more dangerous other than what I did during the week with your phone. It's definitely out there. So beautiful shot, great idea, great composition. I think it is very interesting. I think the pixelation is what kills it.
What about there? If it was from there to there.
Let me see here.
Yeah, that would look a little better.
No, because it brings that pixelation more up front for me. I don't want to see the pixelation.
Well, I was trying to crop it out. Y'all don't see.
Well, it goes. The pixelation literally goes from the tip of the boat for the rest of the screen in the water to the right.
Yeah.
It starts there.
Yeah.
Yeah, now I see it.
Damn it! I was drinking the Kool-Aid.
And if it wasn't there, it'd be again, like Mike said earlier on, a sellable picture. I think it's a gorgeous shot.
I mean, the reason it happened, and even if he wasn't using HDR, the pixelization still would have happened because the up and down of the boat itself.
Right.
Here you're using your phone, especially knowing the Samsung phone, knowing the camera app myself. It's got that bracket in the whole square. You got to get it lined up, and it's going. You're going. All of a sudden, you get that one rock. It snaps it, but at the same time, you're panicking because the boat's automatically rocking. So that throws you off. Then you kind of come back and you get the rest.
But you could use the Steadicam for it.
On a boat?
Yeah. Hey, Steadicams are Steadicams, baby.
On a boat.
On a boat.
Well, it's not a boat; it's a kayak. But
kayak, Steadicam, that mess. That's the one thing I wish I had over the week with my shots. I wish I had a Steadicam because I got some pretty cool stuff.
I don't know. You gotta have a freaking fast shutter, Steadicam out in the water.
What I found in taking panels and the photosphere shots and any elongated shot that you want to do, if you're trying to do it right in the camera. Or even if you're not doing it in the camera, but you're taking shot, then shot, then shot. If you're not a person that's, very steady, like doctor surgical steady, get a tripod or monopod so that you can keep that camera steady. Otherwise, you wind up with the pixelization because you'll wind up with a photo. Part of it's kind of like this and like this, and you wind up with a hill. You get the bow effect, everything. Everything that can work against you will work against you.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Are you guys talking about the striation, the vertical striation in it?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Because that looks like he had a nice smooth pan, and then sped it up, and then slowed it down, and sped it up, and slowed it down.
No. The boat just went up and
But
down.
the boat is moving. That's what it is.
Yeah.
The boat
Right.
is moving on. All right.
So-
Well, congratulations, though, to Mr. Brady. You will be tasked with giving us a challenge this coming week. And I wonder if we can get it to him pretty quickly. You know, since it's the holiday, maybe we're getting off on the holiday and not going to work. We'll see.
I'll say this about the winner. Don't feel bad that we tore your picture apart and you won. You've had this happen before.
Yeah, it happens. There's no disrespect here. We just
It's
point
just
out
a
what we see.
You know what?
I will say the premise, what he's doing, what he did,
Fits.
great.
Yes.
Just
Get
the
outside.
execution needs to be better.
Well,
Yeah.
and okay, no, I disagree with that slightly. Your execution was great. It's your surroundings that did you in on this photo. Your execution, I think, was flawless.
All right.
I think you got out there, you did exactly what the challenge was meant to do. It's
You
the
quit
fact that
telling
you were
the
on the
water to be
boat.
still.
When I'm
You can't say-
saying,
You're not Jesus. You're not Jesus. You can't calm the water.
when I'm saying execution, I'm actually talking about the totality of taking it and making sure that you get that steady picture.
Yeah.
Or you know what he could have did? He could have taken it from the dock. Like, pulled it. If he was going to go for the shot, he could have accomplished the exact same thing if he pulled his boat more onto the beach.
Okay.
Still had his nose pointed out, but he's still not affected by that water. Exactly. He could have cropped it out and made the exact same shot that way.
Yeah.
True.
And Steve, again, I host this thing, and you see how much my shots get ripped up. So don't even worry about it.
It's all in love.
Well, if it were me, I'd probably fall in the lake. So
I would allow. Hey, the one time I took my phone into the water, I don't use that iPhone anymore. We'll just say it like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would have needed one of those swimsuit things that Swing uses on his phone.
Hey, I had it in one of those.
Wow.
Now, one thing I can tell you about the iPhone, it can take a shock and not break, because last week I wanted to test it out for the 4th of July. I'm going to a machine gun meet, and I put it on my Picatinny rail of my M16 and took a picture. And it came out good, but it took a pretty heavy 30 rounds shake.
You got it bad, King.
When I did a mag dump, and I wanted to see what it was like, and it took it. And it came out real good. I'm gonna put it up. I'm probably gonna try to put it up sometime soon on the in the group.
We might have to send you to counseling for your firearm therapy.
Okay, cat photography has just reached a new level. 500 Pics has released an email about cat photography tips.
I saw that. That's that one particular artist, right? You know what? Let's bring that up. I got that email. Do you have? I got that email.
I just saw it pop on my phone. I'm like, really?
No, when I looked at the actual page, you'll see. Hold on.
So now, Saturday really does mean something.
Cat Saturday is a big thing, gentlemen. I'm trying to tell y'all.
Yeah, I know somebody that looks forward to it here in Chateau Ghetto. I never thought I'd say that.
I look forward to Cat Saturday. I'm a big supporter of Cat Saturday.
Oh, come on.
While you're looking
the full gallery, they just took me to the page.
While you're looking for it, want to talk about Ant's his daily posts you're doing them on a new domain and our site, right? The smartphone-photographer.com.
Yes, sir. Sort of doing it back and forth.
I saw this week that you mentioned me in it, and I have a rebuttal.
Yes, I mean, aren't you the selfie king?
Okay, so let me share my screen.
Go for it.
We as people who follow me on other social medias, Sarah and I went out to Six Flags on Saturday without any kids, and we had a blast, and we took a bunch of pictures. And true to form, I've been playing with an app called Front Back. It's an app that it literally takes a picture from your front-facing camera and one from your back camera also, and then it stacks them together. And these are the kind of shots that you get. We were riding the Goliath, which is one of Six Flags Magic Mountain's more. It's a tall one. It's a very big drop. So I told the people behind us that we're going to take a selfie, and this is what we came up with. So yes, the moral of the story is, everybody, please, when you're out there having a great time, take these pictures.
Yes.
Capture what you're doing. Front and back. That's their whole. The whole concept of the app is to give value to these selfies. Show what's going on around you, but also capture your experience. Also, it's a lot of fun. It's a great community. As you can see, the app is available on both Google Play and on the App Store. But go out there and have fun with your phones. Be careful with your phones. Don't do like I did and take them on very, very fast roller coasters. But it's fun also to go fast too. Yeah, selfies are important.
Selfie I appreciate.
And see, speaking to that, I totally agree. I'm going to share my screen because I did this last year at one of the hard hits. And that's just going down the first hill of a roller coaster, and just that emotion right there, man, just that made my afternoon.
It's something so special, and I really appreciate the Front Back guys, because they've given us the ability to take those photos, because it's such a super simple interface. You hit the button once and it takes one from one of them, and hit the button again, it takes it from the other. You can decide which camera fires first, your front or your back one, and it's a no-think. It shares to all your normal social networks, including.
Michael, have you printed any of these?
That one, the one that got the 2311 likes, is getting printed.
Okay.
There's a couple other ones that we took, like in front of the Riddler's Revenge, and a couple of the ones from the Batman ride that will probably get printed also. But they're really nice, and if you use one of those online photo printing things, they're great prints to have around your house.
Right.
Now, with this, does it require? I'm reading on it on Android. Is there a sign-in to a community, or does it just work and save the information to your phone and then?
It does both. You can sign up for it. They have their own little community where you can just look at their photos, but you don't have it posts automatically to their community. But you can also save your front backs to your camera roll and do whatever you want with it. Also, like if, for instance, on iOS. The Instagram camera doesn't allow you to take an Instagram photo outside of Instagram. You have to use its camera, so it takes the front back picture and then sends it to Instagram, and then you do all your Instagram crap with it.
Okay.
But it's a great app. It's fun, and the community is really nice. They do a good job with that.
All right. Before we get out of here, I want to look at this whole cat thing. This was part of the email he got. Now, I just wanted to get you guys' opinion. When I look at this particular page and this point of view, I just see a bunch of cats. All right. But then when I do this, you get hallelujah.
Yeah.
That's not what I'm gonna take and put on that picture for that picture.
No, okay. Well,
Only thing I see right now is sneezing, coughing, and all these allergies.
And then you say this same picture here to the left of my cursor there.
Yeah.
You got this cat in that face, but then when you do that, you got me a puppy. So again, what do you guys? And it's not necessarily just cats, but how do you guys feel about captions and or bubbles or things like that for your photography? Because we've said it many times, when you take a shot, it's really great if you can tell some type of story or sort of, put a picture to words to sort of make it a little more interesting to the people looking at it. Because right there, that just looks like a cat close up. But doing it this way, it's like, oh, that's a scared what the hell cat kind of thing.
Yeah. How about the ones asleep? What's it? There's a caption on it.
Right there, lazy weekend. Right there is just a cat sleeping on a tree, but there it strikes your emotion just a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's me on a Saturday in the recliner kind of thing.
I think
this is me screaming hallelujah. The week is over. It's the weekend, baby. That's
the biggest thing is the picture itself, not so much the title.
So well shot.
If you can look at the picture and it makes you think of something, telling a story for you, and it engages your mind to where you think, oh, what is this about?
Right.
Or you can give it your own caption, and then you happen to look at the caption and say, yeah, I was thinking that. That's what makes it a good shot.
Yeah, because see, a lot of these shots, they didn't do anything for me. But I happened to hover my mouse, and I was like, oh, little words pop up now. Fancy beast. This looks like any other daggum cat I see outside. Right here.
Like if you go down to your second row there, the one to the far left, and be like, oh, what did I get for Christmas? Open the Christmas
tree.
Get a Christmas tree.
Sacred. That made it a little bit more enjoyable experience for me. But I was just curious to get you guys' take on photography, having captions or things like that. Does it make your picture better just in case you come up short when you snap it and process it?
I think it enhances. Yeah, it can enhance your photo.
But also, if you don't do a good enough caption, you can take away from the photo too.
To destroy it.
Yeah. Okay.
So you have to be really creative, both in taking the picture and coming up with a caption.
Right.
So that means Mike shouldn't take any of these pictures because he's neither creative. Can't do any of that shit.
All right, we're going to get out of here. We've run long. I'm going to let you guys do a little sign off and tell everybody where we can find you on these interwebs and look for your work, because all of you guys take some really nice shots and everybody wants to see them. So we'll start with you, Mr. King.
I can be found at Michael King 4023 on anything, including G+, and I can be found in Waco, Texas tomorrow at about 7 o'clock at the Texas Machine Gun Meet.
Excellent. And thank you for hanging out on yet another Tech Shows podcast last night. It was cool seeing you in our chat room and talking smack with us on the show. Well done, sir. Next up, Mr. Michael Olson. Where can we find you, bro?
Well, you can always find me on Google+, Twitter, I'm at Olson Mike, and I blog occasionally at techimprovement.com.
All right. Thank you for coming out, man. It's good seeing you. I know you've been
it's nice to see you too, man.
All right. Next up, Michael Portis.
Hey, you can find me online at a Black on a Mac or blackonaMac.com. If you want to check out that front flip app, you can find me there also at a Black on a Mac. Happy 4th of July, everybody. I'll be at the Napa County Fair and Fireworks this weekend, so come say hi.
Nice. Thank you, sir. Mr. Orth?
I'm primarily a mapper, not so much a photographer. But so you can. I'm obviously on Google+. I have a business page called Scaled Planet, where I show off occasionally some of my mapping product, but most of the mapping industry news type of stuff, what's going on in that. And then I have my own website at rickorth.com. Again, sharing mostly my technical stuff. And then there's scaledplanet.com, and I'm also on a sort of a sharing contest site called See Me.
See Me.
SEE. I think it's SEE.me. And they do some interesting stuff. My brother posts there in photography as well.
Oh, this does look interesting. Bring creativity back to the real world.
And and most anywhere I go, I try and get the call Rick Orth, RICKORTH. So I'm Rick. Actually, I'm Richard Orth on Twitter because Rick Orth was already taken.
Of course. Damn social medias.
I think Facebook on Rick Orth.
Sweet. Well, appreciate you coming out and joining us for the first time. Hopefully, we didn't scare you too much.
No, it was fun.
We love it when we have new blood in here.
Yes, definitely.
I would have
All
liked
right.
to have I would have liked to have heard what you'd said about my photograph, but whatever.
Well,
If you can show your screen and let us see it.
go ahead.
Well,
Before we
it's
go,
posted for the contest.
it's in the contest. Hold on. Let me go back. I'll give you a few minutes, even though we're running along. All right. So let's see.
It's okay.
It's the holiday weekend.
Yes.
Here, Florida Storm. That one.
Yeah, I think that's right.
Right there.
Oh wow, nice.
Yeah, that's mine. Yeah.
Oh, shit, that is pretty nice.
This was a couple of hours after we had just had a really bad rainstorm. This is actually, we're to the east of it, so I'm looking west. So the sun, and it's in the afternoon, so the sun is what's causing all that white.
Uh-huh.
And I think that's the residual from the cloud. But then as you kind of move to the south of the picture, it starts to, you see the swirls in the clouds start to break up into a clear blue sky.
Okay.
Looks like a curve here.
We'll give you the full treatment.
Okay.
I like all of the white. It is incredibly distracting.
Yeah.
What I would have done is I would have cropped it down a lot more so that the horizon line isn't so much, because it's so overpowering over an absolutely gorgeous landscape. I have to say that. This landscape, although you can see the barrel distortion with the curvature there, I think what I would have done is I would have after you took the shot, I would have done a crop that levels it a little bit and bring it more center, and then crop it a little tighter down to, that's probably a 16:9 crop. I would have been a little deeper and just brought it in tighter, and it would have made it an absolute beautiful shot.
Are you able to see my cropping now?
It's just a free form crop.
Yeah.
I didn't go for any particular format.
Hey, you asked for the bull. Here comes the horn.
So I'm getting the horns. I get it.
Here comes the horn. No, when I say that, Mike Sweeney just entered the room.
And he can tear anything apart.
Michael, I will let you have the rest of this.
Even the Mona Lisa.
Before Sweeney goes, I'll go.
I'm just sitting here quietly.
He'll probably tear the Mona Lisa apart.
Go ahead, Robert.
Which I've actually seen.
I have too. At the Louvre.
Hold on. Go ahead, Robert.
I see in the comments you noticed it as well. The panning, that white really did kind of.
Oh yeah.
It took it for me, but the other thing that got me was those trees, those 3 palm trees being dead center, shot me into a V, so that I wound up staying more centered on the photo than actually panning across the photo to see the whole thing.
Yeah, that I should have probably gotten rid of that next stand of palm trees.
If they had
pushed it over.
Maybe if you had moved those, or you moved to maybe the right or left, so that they would set the border a little bit more instead of being dead center, then that would have worked better for me.
Yeah, this was for what Mike likes. This was actually a larger picture, just by a little bit, because I was constrained by pillars on either side.
Okay.
So I just shaved the pillars out.
Okay.
So this is a really wide. So it just so happens that in between these two pillars, that stand of palm trees centers up.
Mm-hmm.
But I like the way that one wetland flows off. That sea of grass, that flat sea of grass, flows off to the south or to the left.
Yeah, it's a gorgeous landscape.
One thing that you could have to work around the poles is the extender pole thing that Michael Portis uses. And does the iPhone camera can it still be triggered by headphones?
Yes.
Yes, can still be triggered by headphones, or you can get one of these fantastic devices from
Or
Square Jellyfish.
actually, there's one other thing. Hold on.
Uh-oh. Toys.
Where are you? Oh, I didn't bring my. Oh, where are you?
Even though I don't use that phone, I'm learning stuff.
You know, I thought about rolling around that pole, but it's
downstairs.
It's a 2-foot diameter pole, vertical column.
Yeah.
And I could just see I'd be transferring it between my hands and drop it 3 stories.
I didn't bring my toy up here to show you how you can trigger an iPhone. Shame on me.
Unbelievable.
Turns out you can use a Bluetooth keyboard to trigger your iPhone.
Well, that's a big toy.
The volume controls on the Mac keyboard will in fact trigger the camera. You can have your phone 30 feet away on a pole and sit there with a little keyboard and go tap 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 and take pictures.
Well, this works the same way. It goes on your keychain. That's $30 you'll spend. Get it on Amazon.
I had the keyboard already. I used it on the iPad.
Okay. Well, yeah, but you gotta. Okay, wait.
Use these.
Don't trigger a whole nother. Yeah, I like those. Don't trigger a whole nother set of stupid. You're gonna have people walking around with their iPads and a damn keyboard now.
Why? Hey, that's like a good idea. Hey,
oh my God.
I like to see more people do that. Have their iPads and have a big. And have the keyboard and take a picture.
Now you got to understand, when I found this out, the very first thing I did is I walked over to the pool with my camera in a case, and I tried to see how far I could trigger it underwater.
That sounds like
okay, wait. So, Sweeney, then you need one of these. This is the tripod mount for a large screen. This will hold up to.
No, I don't need that. All right. Now we're going to get into this.
Now we got a gear war. Seriously, we got a gear war.
Yeah.
This is a tripod mount for iPads.
Nice. Fortis. Is this the crap you're talking about?
I'm not taking this line down. You crossed the line. This, sir, is what you need.
That's the same thing.
It's the same thing, ain't it?
Nope.
No, it's not.
No, it's not.
That's way more secure.
Yes, it is. It's even got nice little grippy teeth on it.
You can golf with that with your iPad.
Damn straight. Given what I do with my iPhone, it's a good thing.
Yeah.
What is that, a dash mount?
All kidding aside, I put mine in the new Glyph. My phone for the shots I took riding the roller coaster, I put mine in the new Glyph. And oh my goodness, that some of those rides are pulling G's with an S, and that phone was solid.
This to go with it.
Very nice.
We actually call this Stormtrooper White.
Very nice.
Yes.
And it's called a Me Photo. Let's see if we can get the brand there. This is one of the best made compact tripods I've ever used.
How small does it fold
up? Awesome. Oops, let's see here. Just like that. Just like that. Let's see here.
Put that in your pocket.
And then you got this.
You can't put it in your pocket. You can't put it in your pocket, but I bet it's got a nice bag.
It does have a very nice bag, actually.
See, I love this.
Okay, there's the bag. Fully lined. Zipper to put all the extra stuff in there, right there.
No, I guess I'm going to have to go dig out my Picatinny rail mounted system for my camera.
Right. And this thing here, what's really cool about this is you can use virtually anybody else's case or any kind of phone. It's not married to an iPhone.
I like
the bottom piece here, the pro shooters will love it because it's a standard plate. There's nothing proprietary about the plate.
Right. All right. We're not going to have Gear Wars. We're going to go ahead and shut this sucker down. I'm tired.
Oh, we just got Michael all wound up.
Lord have mercy. What did I do to y'all? Mr. Knight, where can we find you before we shut it down, bro?
I am swarming all over 500 pics at Robert_Knight.500pix.com.
All right.
You need to get Sweeney.
And Mr. Sweeney.
You can find me msmedia.me, or you can find me at Light and Images on the Twitterverse. You can find me in Google. You can find me in Facebook. You can find me virtually everywhere.
All right.
Buy my book.
What's the book called? What's the book called?
The book, Creative iPhone Photography. And we're in the process of updating it for iOS 8, even though it's still beta. We'll start to sneak some information into it. And I'm in the middle of also doing a book on iPhone post-processing, which will actually transfer across to a great number of smartphones. I'm trying to keep it generic, you know.
Yeah, it makes it more fundamental, right?
It does.
Necessarily just depending on your brand. It's just fundamental. That's good stuff.
So, keeping busy as always.
Word. Well,
Hey,
thank
you
you
made
for
up for
coming.
last goodbye.
What'd you say?
He made up for last week's goodbye. He got on me because I was like, buy my stuff. You get the 30 seconds right.
Well, so this is actually my new business card. That is the cover shot of the book.
Yeah.
And then what I've done is I've got my information on the back.
Very
All right.
Very nice. That's how you plug your products, folks.
There you go.
Thank you for
Brought to you
coming
by
on, bro.
Beretta USA.
I'm gonna get out of here, and I am Ant Pruitt. You find me here on Google Plus. I'm out of scotch. Find me on Google Plus under Ant Pruitt, or at I Have No Life on the Twitterverse. I hang out over there as well. I have a bunch of friends there. We just talk some mindless fun stuff. It's good times. But you can also check out the content on smartphone-photographers.com. We're doing features for people in the community, little intros, as well as just highlight shots. You know, something that just gets the community's attention. We'll show it off on there, because everybody can't get into the community. Why? Because the community is semi-private. If you're interested in joining the community, come to us here on Google Plus and search for Smartphone Photographers Community, hosted by moi, Ant Pruitt, and request an invite, and we will do a little background check on you, either myself or any of these moderators that are in here tonight. I believe everybody's a moderator other than Mr. Orr. We'll just check you out, make sure you'll fit in, because we don't do the spamming. We don't do the people that just look around and plus one and don't add any type of insight, tips or tricks. You know, we want this community to be helpful. So check us out. And check out my YouTube channel. The videos are there. I've been doing them 5 days a week, but this week was pretty bad. I'm freaking exhausted from working some long hours. Last week was bad because I was in San Francisco and didn't have my equipment.
Whoa, wait. You were in San Francisco? Whoa.
Oh, here it comes.
Whoa, wait a
Dun,
second.
dun, dun,
You
dun,
didn't
dun.
know that, man?
Right here.
You got
Right
just.
here. Right
You didn't
here.
know that? I remember flying over Modesto and thinking, Portis is out here.
Wow. No, you know what? I was probably, I spent, you wrong. We're just going to say that. Yeah, you wrong.
Dude, I was out there. I was probably there about a day and a half of real time. About a day and a half, because I was there for I.O.
Okay, yeah, you're wrong. You're wrong.
No, I'm coming back next year.
That's why
I
we
will
were
be
supposed
there
to host
next year.
last week.
Did you see that? Did you read the memo? Anything?
I didn't see that. I didn't read that you were at I.O.
Dude, I did a vlog recording stuff.
Yeah. Everybody knew he was at Google I.O.
Jeez, man, what the heck? And you talking
What
about
was it?
wrong?
Well, now see, you just answered you said it right there.
Okay, yeah, we're
You
even
were at
now.
Google, and he's only like Apple.
I'm an
Yeah, exactly.
Apple guy.
That explains it.
The only thing I heard about from Google I.O. was that watch.
See,
The watches
That
are
watch.
got Apple
That's
on the
it.
brain.
That's it.
All right, y'all folks, have y'all a good
I'm
night.
surprised
Thank
you don't
y'all
have to
for
have Beats
watching.
now that you know.
Huh?
No, these aren't Beats. These
Yeah,
are.
you need to upgrade now that Apple
Yeah,
bought
you-
the headset.
Yeah,
No.
Please don't. Please don't.
No,
Please don't.
these are so
Beats now.
comfortable. No, these are so comfortable.
No,
Get
you need to
some
get a pair of Beats headphones.
No, these are okay. Wait, no.
We just some Sennheisers.
These are Skull Candy Hex shoes. They are so ridiculously comfortable, and they sound great. And yeah, go get yourself some. We're a Skull Candy fan. Skull Candy family.
Not a sponsor.
No,
Skull
you need
Candy, not a
Not
sponsor.
sponsored. Not sponsored, but we are Skull Candy.
I love that shirt,
All right.
Tortoise.
Y'all be good. Thank you for the folks that's been popping in, watching this thing live, and tolerating us. Whew, boy, we're something else. Thank y'all. Now we'll see you guys next week, and congratulations to Mr. Brady. We look for that challenge soon. Take care.